Are children harmed when they see pornography?
Well, the research on that is kind of mixed. I actually have a couple.
So your answer is I don't know?
The answer is that there's research going in both ways, and it's not just me.
It just seems obvious to me that if a 12-year-old boy has access to Pornhub and can freely search it, it won't take him long to find what we consider extreme pornography.
And if he finds extreme pornography, what are those outcomes? So you talked about sexual aggression. There's a meta-analysis from the 1970s to 2020, and it shows that some show that there is, some show that there's not, but the studies that were done over a longer period, the link was weakened. It's also been found the studies that employed higher level of best practices tended to provide less evidence of a potential link.
There's a meta-analysis.
The biggest predictors for sexual aggression, number one, alcohol.
Hey guys, this is the Shades Podcast. If my voice sounds a little bit funny for this episode, please excuse it. I'm sure they're like, Eric, your voice always sounds funny every episode. Touche. The Shades Podcast is all about exposing our cultural dark frames of today's day and age in order for us to see into the light. That's why we are wearing shades. It's symbolism, okay? Ray, how are you?
I'm annoyed.
Yes, I am very annoyed too.
I'm quite annoyed.
Highly annoyed. In fact, I'm sick to my stomach.
Yeah. That these individuals actually have an audience, especially Destiny. He's almost at, actually, I don't know how many subscribers, but I know he has 100,000, and I guess Jasmine's really not on YouTube like that, but, she's doing her little
She is, thing, right, on another darker side of the world. Yeah, she's a sex worker.
A prostitute, actually.
And you know what really annoys me, kind of going back to your point even more, is they have an audience. They have an audience, and this audience looks up to them. This audience has a lot of shades on that they are looking through a very dark perspective. You know what's one thing that really makes me sick from these leftists? Is that they are fine with children watching porn. Yeah, I'm going to say that again. They're fine with children watching porn. They don't have any moral feelings about it. Why? Because there's no conclusive evidence on its effect on them.
And if you are a leftist that is watching this video, why do you think that children shouldn't watch porn if you're against it? Why? Why should they?
That's actually a really good point. Then let me go ahead and steal, their answer. Well, Ray, you may say that children who have been exposed to porn, violent porn in particular, than those who haven't, will be more aggressive towards girls. There are stats out there that does say that. However, if you look at the better research, it's contrary to what you are saying. So because there's two differing stats out there, I can't conclusively say on whether or not if it's wrong for children to watch porn. So as of right now, my answer is, I don't know. I can't say yes or no. Guys, that should at least make you feel like, okay. Now we're kind of getting into deep waters here.
Yeah.
Now things are becoming a little bit more sick.
And even if she was against it, what would be her moral obligation, or not moral obligation, more objection to children watching porn of that material? What objection do you have? You don't derive your morals from anything. You don't derive your morals from the supernatural. You derive your morals from your own preferences. What does it even matter?
That's actually a really good point. There is no moral objectivity for them, so why does it even matter if children were to watch porn in the first place? Here's another point that I want to delve into. She is all about consequentialism. I'm looking at the consequences of this act. Lila gave her a question, and I thought it was a really good question. She said, are you fine with children, or for anyone for that matter, to watch incest porn if it was real or fake? And she was saying, well, notice she likes to start off by saying, well, first off, she can't simply say yes or no. You know what I would say, Lila? You already say that to me? Look, how dare you ask me that question, Lila? Come on, you're my Catholic sister. Don't you dare do that to me, okay? But Jasmine, she gives an explanation. She gives an explanation on whether or not people should watch incest porn if they're aroused by it, if that is okay if they're aroused by it. She was saying, well, the reason why I'm not totally against it is because we don't see any real life effects on people actually having incestuous sexual relationships. So my understanding is if it's within the confines virtually, then I mean, that's them. I'm not gonna judge them.
You're okay with people being aroused and ejaculating over rape porn. You're okay with that.
As long as it's something that, if it's not real and if it's consensual actors,
and
yes,
you're
I'm
okay with
that.
someone getting aroused and ejaculating over incest porn.
Yeah, as long as,
And
again,
would you be okay with someone ejaculating and being aroused over child sexual assault material, provided it wasn't a real child, it was a simulation?
and same thing, if it was a simulation, I would look at what the consequences are. If it's leading, especially when some of them show it's leading to less actual harm to children, or if it's leading to less sexual aggression in person, if it's leading to less SAs, which a lot of studies show, then I think yes. I think if you're just getting aroused by it, but there's no harm being done.
What about a child being raped, but it's a simulation, and it's okay for someone to ejaculate over that, in your mind?
I would say that okay, here's the thing. Some people have that proclivity, and if watching it when there's no real child, if it's AI, and that prevents somebody from actually acting this out, has a cathartic
There's no evidence
effect,
that
I
it
would
prevents
say.
it.
Now,
There's evidence that watching
here's the
that it has a cathartic effect on actual essay.
Here's the difference. Okay.
Just want to let's bring a hypothetical into this. That's depraved to its limits. But let's bring a hypothetical into this. Let's say that children watching this hardcore material was a net good for them, meaning some far crazy universe world, whatever. Of course, this wouldn't operate in reality. That's why it's hypothetical. Say that the outcomes or there are good ramifications, meaning, the children pair bonded more, or it helped their growth. Some positive, whatever. I can guarantee that she would be for it. She would. She would be for bestiality if it had positive outcomes. She would be for necrophilia if it had positive outcomes. So she bases her, not even morality, but her judgments on actions through empirical evidence, which is ridiculous.
You know what? Yes, that can happen, because I'm trying to think of something that they could say against that. They could say, well, we can't just simply make unreality into your reality. Well, let's go ahead and continue on this thought experiment. Let's say incest, for example. What if later on in the future, and we don't know, we honestly don't know, because who on earth would have thought someone is going to go ahead and not give a straightforward answer to the question if children should be able to watch porn last 10 seconds ago. But here we are, in which two beautiful Catholic people are debating, trying to convince these two depraved individuals that, hey, perhaps children shouldn't watch porn. Here we are now. But with that being said, what if in the future we have a sick, disgusting generation in which they grew up watching porn, and they really like incestuous porn, and so they go on to their cousin or to their second cousin and they commit the act, and they came to an understanding that their bond deepened, their bond got stronger. It's a very intimate type of relationship between the two. And what if other people they started also engaging in that incestuous relationship? And the trend goes on and on and on. That's the new trend for 2040, incestuous relationships. What is Jasmine going to say?
Yeah.
Then what do Christians say? Well, how can we argue against the stats? The stats do show that they are more pair bonding. Now, again, they may say, okay, come on, Ray, that is far-fetched out. We can't see trends in the future. We cannot see trends in the future. Because now the trend now is that people are literally debating on whether or not the children should cut off their genitals because it'll make them happier individual. That is being debated now. Who on earth would have figured out that trend last 10 years ago? Perhaps, these very highly intelligent individuals probably saw it. But for the majority of the population, we didn't. Okay, now let's perhaps go back to reality, so to say. All right. Jasmine Jafar, again, as I said, she is a consequentialist. She's saying, well, if certain activities may seem wrong to you, but I need to go ahead and look and observe reality on whether or not if we are seeing this bad stuff that you're seeing on the screen, such as incestuous relationships and aggressive, violent porn. I'm not seeing that out into the real world, so therefore I'm okay with it, so to say. Okay. So why not then, by that logic, is if we are not seeing these effects out into the world, then why not have children watch AI child porn? now suddenly children are going to go ahead and commit these acts towards children? No, because as of what we're seeing and observing, this isn't happening with any other type of material. Okay, so why not go ahead and have children watch AI child porn? Why not? And two, as you said it brilliantly before, what's your morals feeling towards that in the first place? You have none. Yeah. Or you shouldn't have none. Or if you do, it's meaningless. Yeah.
Or she would probably go, no, we probably shouldn't do that. Or it's not real. It's virtual. So, you know, it won't show any negative ramifications. Come on, guys. Really? Right. Really? Right. These are two individuals with audiences, two individuals that advocate for degeneracy.
Right.
Children watching pornography.
Yeah. I mean,
yikes.
What more is there to say, guys?
Yikes. This is really just not really, of course, we're making points in this video, but we just want you as the viewers to kind of really take a step back and look at the left. Because these are two prime examples of left advocates. They are. Really look at the left and see how evil they are.
I mean, I don't know what else to say. This is evil. Just as the word of God says, people in the end will call good evil and evil good. Evil is now suddenly becoming good. And yes, pornography is evil. It is the commodification of the human body on both parties. But, and I don't mean to digress, Jasmine also thinks that a doctor saving a life, he is being commodified because the institution is using his brain.
Gosh.
It's laughable.
I wanted to add a point onto the sexuality experimenting within to find your sexuality.
Right.
Porn, we have had some data that shows that people who are in tune with pornography or consumed by it, they even question their own sexuality. And you and I have made plenty of videos about that. So, now we get to a point to where, yikes, I might delve into homosexual activity, which then leads to a genetic end. Wow, more societal decay, Jasmine. Congrats. Congrats. Anti-natalism. Hooray. How else are we supposed to progress if we're not reproducing? But hey, I look towards myself because I'm a narcissist, and whatever feels good to me, that's what we're going to go with. If that's a net good for you, good job.
Hey,
ridiculous.
Let me ask you a question because you brought up a really good point. Would you say that porn is anti-natalism?
It can lead to it for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right.
You heard it here first on the Shades podcast. Yeah. Porn is anti-natalism. Shades podcast. It's the truth. I'm sure Andrew Wilson, please, Andrew Wilson, agree with us. No, I'm kidding. I'm sure lots of reasonable people could say, you know what, porn, essentially, it can be anti-natalism because it teaches an entire generation. It teaches the masses to just simply have sex, and that's it. Imagine if we had material. This would be quite weird if we had a material to say, hey guys, have sex, and then hopefully with this you raise the children, but we don't have that material. Again, that would be weird. But you know what's even more weird and even more sick? Porn in and of itself. That just shows the sex act, and that's it. That's even more sick and depraved. But hey, children watching it, that's fine. That's fine as well.
The left, everybody. Let's go ahead and clap it up. We need to play the... Congratulations. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And Shades will be back.